irony metaphor back out again. You can put it into evidence by calling John Bolton as a witness, but the White House has blocked him, and John Bolton has said he would testify. So one more dead body in that irony wilderness that you were describing a few minutes ago. But let's go back to Pam Bondi. The job, as you said, of going after Joe Biden and his son Hunter fell to the former Florida Attorney General. Let's listen to her case.
When the House managers gave you their presentation, when they submitted their brief, they repeatedly referenced Hunter Biden and Burisma. When the House managers gave you their presentation, when they submitted their brief, they repeatedly referenced Hunter Biden and Burisma. They spoke to you for over 21 hours, and they referenced Biden or Burisma over 400 times. And when they gave these presentations, they said there was nothing to see. It was a sham. This is fiction. The reason they needed to do that is because they are here saying that the president must be impeached and removed from office for raising a concern. And that's why we have to talk about this today. Hunter Biden had no experience in natural gas, no experience in the energy sector, no experience with Ukrainian regulatory affairs. As far as we know, he doesn't speak Ukrainian. So naturally, the media has asked questions about his board membership. Why was Hunter Biden on this board?
In response to those attacks from Pam Bondi, the Biden campaign released a statement that reads in part, "We didn't realize Breitbart was expanding into TED Talk knockoffs. Here on planet Earth, the conspiracy theory that Bondi repeated has been conclusively refuted. The diplomat that Trump himself appointed to lead his Ukraine policy has blasted it as self-serving and not credible. Joe Biden was instrumental to a bipartisan and international anti-corruption victory. It's no surprise that such a thing is anathema to President Trump." So, Rick Wilson, the former prosecutor, Lutsenko, who was the prosecutor at the time, has said, quote, "Hunter Biden did not violate any Ukrainian laws. At least as of now, we do not see any wrongdoing." But the list goes on. As Joe said, the IMF, the EU, others were worried about that particular prosecutor. This wasn't a Joe Biden directive.
He was a notoriously corrupt prosecutor, you know, and it loops back, by the way, into the whole Trump world of Paul Manafort and everything else. This was part of the previous regime. And the fact is, there was a universal demand to push him out. However, this is also one of the great masturbatory fantasies of the Trump campaign right now, is that they're going to make Hunter Biden a major issue in the 2020 election. And Pam Bondi was out there playing to one audience, and that was Fox and Trump. That's all they cared about. That's all they were trying to accomplish. And look, she goes way back with Donald Trump. She left office under a cloud when she left the office of Attorney General in Florida, because she had taken basically a $25,000 bribe from Trump to cover up his Trump University scandal and drop the lawsuit in Florida. So, you know, they go way back. He likes that kind of, 1 millimeter deep, shallow presentation. And she delivered in spades in that regard. But it was a laughable example of how she was, reading from the Trump script that requires you to suspend logic, the ability to read a timeline and a calendar, and the ability to look at the global dislike for this guy who was a part of the cancer of corruption in Ukraine, as opposed to the people that replaced him and were trying to clean it up.
All right, Ken Starr, the independent counsel at former President